Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So it's looking very likely that Sergio Reguilon is going to be our second signing in this summer transfer window. Now Manchester United are preparing to put around a £27 million bid in. Real Madrid have said that they want around £27 million. They did recently say that they want to insert a buyback clause in any deal. And I did say that has been the stumbling block of Regulion coming to Manchester United. But this buyout clause could be now cancelled. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out and also to Marca have said that Sergio Reguilon is on the verge of joining Manchester United and negotiations are now advanced. But Reguilon has made his decision. He wants to come to Manchester United. It recently said that he had rejected a move to Manchester United and he wanted to make a return to Sevilla. He was out on loan with Sevilla last season, where he played around 38 games in all competitions. He also had a few other loan spells with the Logrons. Also mentions that Tottenham are interested in Reguilon. But Reguilon will leave Real Madrid anyway, because obviously he can't get in Real Madrid's team, because obviously Zinedine Zidane prefers Ferland Mendy and Marcelo ahead of Reguilon. But he's been at Real Madrid for several years. You know, he has been there since 2005. So he's been there around 15 years in total. He has still got a contract with Real Madrid until 2023. And he is only the age of 23. Predominantly a left-back. And I said it's very beneficial that Manchester United get a left-back in. We have got two predominant left-backs in the team at the moment, and that's obviously Luke Shaw. He's our first choice left-back, but obviously he's injury-prone. And we've obviously got Brandon Williams. He's our backup left-back. So that's positive news from a Manchester United perspective regarding Sergio Reguilon. Now, I want to delve into some news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. So, Manchester United have a problem of getting Jadon Sancho in, because it says we are concerned that we will face competition for Sancho next year if we don't sign him in this summer transfer window, because next year maybe Real Madrid, Barcelona and Liverpool will try and get the player on the board. Like I've said, throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because Borussia Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million. And we've said several times we are not determined to meet their valuation. I think Sancho is an exceptional player, but I don't think he's worth what Dortmund are demanding. I think he's worth in between £70 to £80 million at the max. I don't think we're going to get Sancho in this summer transfer window, because Lucien Favre, the Borussia Dortmund boss, recently said that Sancho will stay at Dortmund this season. Sebastian Kehl, their sporting director, also said that Sancho will be playing at Dortmund this season. Quite a few weeks ago, Michael Zorg also said that Sancho is staying at Dortmund. Dortmund recently won by 5-0 in the German Cup, and Sancho had also scored in that game. Now, Fabrizio Romano said not too long ago that the personal terms and the agent fees and a contract worth $250,000 a week had been agreed with Jadon Sancho. Obviously, contract worth $250,000 a week had made him the third highest paid player at the football club behind De Gea and Paul Pogba. And it allegedly said that we had submitted a £90 million bid with a further $18 million due in performance-related add-ons, and this will be paid in instalments over the course of the next 2 to 3 seasons. But last month, it had said that we'd agreed the terms with Sancho, and it said he was set to sign a 5-year deal with the club, but just after that got reported, it said that talks had broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. Obviously, Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August to sign Sancho. Obviously, they said this last month. Obviously, we missed out on that deadline, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. But we've already said that we're not giving up on the signing of the player unless he publicly says that he wants to remain at Borussia Dortmund. You know, Sancho has enjoyed 3 good years with Dortmund. You know, his stats were very impressive last season. He scored 17 goals and provided 17 assists. He's still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022. And Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City. But analysing his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. And we made a promise to Sancho that, you know, he will be our next number 7 if he comes in, because obviously we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. But we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. If he was to be sold in this summer transfer window, it'd be also good from a Manchester City perspective. Not only a Man United perspective, because City would get around 15% of the transfer fee. But Sancho does remain our number 1 priority target, and we have been in for him for like the last 3 years. But, you know, Dortmund have let quite a few of their big names go in recent years. Don't forget, they let Aubameyang go, they let Christian Pulisic go, they let Ukwan Gundogan go, they let Mkhitaryan go, they let Kagawa go at one point, they let Lewandowski go, Ousmane Dembele, Matt Hummels. So there you go. But we are now looking at alternatives to Sancho, because let's be honest, you know, these much cheaper solutions than him. You know, we've obviously recently been looking at Gareth Bale from Real Madrid. Now, we are still in talks over getting Gareth Bale on the board, because Gareth Bale has recently made an admission saying that, you know, he would like to make a return to the Premier League. Obviously, Man United have been in for him for several years. I think we've been in for him since the David Moyes era. Obviously, Tottenham are now interested in him, so Bale could possibly reunite with Tottenham. And I think Bale could be available for just 18.5 million. But we're actually now considering getting him on loan. But Bale would actually rather leave Real Madrid permanently than go out on loan. Now, don't forget, Bale was very, very close to joining Real Madrid. Close to joining the Chinese Super League, sorry. Was it last summer? He was offered like £1 million a week, but obviously his move to the Chinese Super League didn't materialise. I think it said an unnamed Premier League club had put an £89 million bid in for Bale. But I think Bale recently had showdown talks with Zinedine Zidane regarding his future, and he has been training away from the rest of the Real Madrid first team squad, so that's fueled speculation up. Bale's wages are substantial. I think he's on around 600 grand a week at Real Madrid, so that could be a stumbling block for, you know, a lot of teams to obviously get him in. But Bale has enjoyed 7 seasons with Real Madrid. You know, he's won a total of 13 major honours. You know, Real Madrid did pay £85 million in from Tottenham back in 2013, and I think at that point it was a record signing, and Bale has still got a contract with Real Madrid till 2022. But the good thing about Bale is that he's Premier League proven, because he enjoyed 6 good years with Tottenham. Before he was at Tottenham, he was at Southampton, where he began his footballing career. But my element of concern about Bale is that he is injury prone. Obviously, Douglas Costa is another alternative we've been looking at. You know, we've also been looking at João Felix from Atletico Madrid. You know, we've looked at Kingsley Coman before. We've looked at Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. So that is the breaking news on that. Now, this season is big for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United, because this season is going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. And obviously, you know, this season we do need to enjoy a good season, and, you know, we need to see improvements. Like I said, you know, Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making, I think there's still certain players that have got to improve at Man United. I think there's still aspects of our game that have got to improve. And Solskjaer knows this season that he has got bigger expectations to exceed. Now, if we are to make a couple of more signings in this summer transfer window, I think we'll be expected to challenge for the title this season. We haven't mounted any title challenge in the last 7 years, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. And I really want Manchester United at some point to win another title, obviously under Solskjaer as well. And if we could do this, it would be our first title under Solskjaer and our 21st title overall. Because as it stands at the moment, we have won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles. So we are the most successful team in Premier League history at the moment. And I think another one of the expectations this season will be to win a trophy, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, and we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and this is the first time that's happened in just over 30 years. But if we are to make any more signings, then maybe our expectations this season will be just to get qualification for the Champions League again. But, I'm really, really looking forward to, Man United playing on Saturday. Obviously, we are at home to Crystal Palace. Obviously, last season was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the football club. And to be fair, he did quite well. Obviously, exceeded most of his expectations, and no one would have thought he'd have exceeded any expectations with how poor we was at the first part of last season, because at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And, at that point, Solskjaer was under serious pressure and he was close to getting sacked by Manchester United. But last season, we got qualification for the Champions League. We also finished third and we progressed to 3 semi-finals. And obviously, I was talking last season about Solskjaer, wasn't I? And I outlined the reasons why he didn't get sacked as Manchester United manager, because obviously since Bruno Fernandes has come in, he's made a difference in the team. Obviously, with Solskjaer being a club legend, that also played a part in it. We are unbeaten in the league since January. We are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. But I think there's 3 weeks left until the summer transfer window shuts, or just under 3 weeks. And Manchester United have still got quite a lot to do. Obviously, we've got to make at least 2 more signings. We're trying to get a centre-half in. There's been quite a few centre-halves on our agenda, but we're looking for someone to go alongside Maguire in our back line. Like I said, we're trying to get a left-back in. Don't forget as well, Manchester United are struggling to offload. We're struggling to offload our fringe players in this summer transfer window, because obviously, quite frankly, these still deadwood at the football club. We want to obviously get rid of Jesse Lingard, we want to get rid of Andres Pereira, we want to get rid of Diego Dalot, we want to get rid of Smalling, Rojo and Jones. Sergio Romero, he's open to leaving the football club, because obviously Sergio Romero is not going to want to stay at Man United when he's third choice goalkeeper. So there's still quite a few things that Manchester United have got to do. But Solskjaer recently revealed that he was very, very frustrated with the board. Main explanation is over the lack of transfer business in this summer transfer window. But we've been critical of the board for several years anyway, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. Obviously, we've overpaid for players in recent years. We've spent close to the £1 billion range in the last 7 years, and I think a lot of the players that we have recruited in the last 7 years haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. There's obviously some players we've brought in who we got rid of who we should have kept in that. Maybe we should have kept Ander Herrera, and we should have obviously kept Romelu Lukaku. I think there's also players we've given contracts to. Well, some players we've given contracts to who we shouldn't have given contracts to. And I think all the managers that we've had since Ferguson retired just haven't been backed enough. So yeah, the blame stems from the board. But I think Solskjaer deserves more backing in this summer transfer window. And Ed Woodward has said quite a few times that, he's determined to back Solskjaer. Even the Glazers said that they're determined to back Solskjaer. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012 and the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. So Woodward has been with us around 8 years and the Glazers have been with us around 15 years. But Solskjaer's publicly admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of City, Liverpool and now perhaps Chelsea. But like I've said to you, there has been so many players on our agenda. Don't get me wrong, I have seen improvements since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended into the football club. Like I said, our recruitment's really improved under him. We've missed out on a few players under Solskjaer. Obviously, we missed out on Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham. It's looking likely that we're going to miss out on Jadon Sancho. But so far, Solskjaer spent just over £200 million at Manchester United. He's brought 6 senior players in, also brought a few academy players into the club. Solskjaer's also promoted the youth well, which is a positive. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in to Manchester United. So, yeah, and there's definitely no players that have improved under him. But don't get me wrong, there's obviously a lot of players I would keep at Manchester United. Obviously, like I said, there's players obviously I would sell, but there's still a lot of players I would keep. Definitely keep Anthony Martial because I think he's really improved under Solskjaer. Martial has endured 5 years with Manchester United. We got him from Monaco back in 2015 for £36 million. He's endured 2 good seasons. Good last season under Solskjaer and did very well in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Martial obviously now plays in that number 9, so he plays in that central position. He's very effective in that central position, even though it isn't his predominant position. So I'm hopeful Martial can continue his good vein of form this season. I think Rashford's done well under him, and I'll definitely keep Rashford because I think Rashford is a foreseeable future for Man United. I think Rashford has been at Manchester United now around 15 years in total. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then has become an integral part of our team. Don't forget he recently recovered from an ankle injury. Did Marcus Rashford. And obviously he had a back injury for us last season. But we know now that Rashford plays on that left-hand side. I think definitely, I definitely would keep Mason Greenwood. I believe he's a foreseeable future for Man United. Mason Greenwood was exceptional last season. I think last season was his first full season in the senior squad. For the vast majority of last season, Mason Greenwood's appearances came from the bench, but towards the end of last season, he was getting a lot of starts. There's been a few incidents with Mason Greenwood recently. I can't remember the other incident that happened, didn't read into it, but I know the first incident, he was inviting girls back to the team hotel. This is why he got withdrawn from the England squad by Gareth Southgate. So too did Phil Foden, and Mason Greenwood recently got given the number 11 shirt, and he's going to become the 4th player to wear the number 11 for Man United. But I think it said Solskjaer set to hold private talks with Mason Greenwood. Definitely keep Bruno Fernandes. I think he's the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes has been exceptional since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon in January. We got Bruno Fernandes. Was it in a deal worth like £55 million? He scored like 12 or 13 goals for us in all competitions since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon, and he's won Premier League Player of the Month, reflecting on his good run of performances. Definitely keep Fred, keep McTominay, and also to keep Matic, because I think they've all really progressed under Solskjaer. Also, I would definitely keep Paul Pogba. I think we need to give Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club to end the uncertainty over his future, because don't forget, Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga. Now, not too long ago, Paul Pogba returned to training, because he has recently just recovered from coronavirus. So that's very positive from a Manchester United perspective, and it's very, very good news for Paul Pogba and his family. Now, I heard Solskjaer saying that Paul Pogba is a doubt for the Crystal Palace game on Saturday, but I'm hopeful that he is available. For the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on Pogba because he was out with that ankle injury. But Pogba sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. You know, this season's going to be Paul Pogba's 5th season at the club since he rejoined from Juventus back in 2016. You know, we did pay 89 million for Pogba, so as it stands at the moment, he is our most expensive signing. And he's one of the highest paid players at the club because he's on just under 300 grand a week. Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, I think, said last month that Pogba's staying at Man United and he will hold talks over a new contract. And Fabrizio Romano said that Paul Pogba wants to stay and he's happy at Manchester United. But I think he will stay for this season anyway, I do believe. Definitely keep Wan-Bissaka. The only thing Wan-Bissaka needs to improve on is his attacking intent, because that's what he's lacking at the moment. But Wan-Bissaka's defensive contribution's always been very, very good. You know, this season's going to be Wan-Bissaka's 2nd season at Manchester United. You know, last season was his 1st season at the club. And we got Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace last summer. But if he wants to emulate to Trent Alexander-Arnold's level, you know, like I said, we need to see more attacking intent from him. So definitely keep him, yeah. Keep Harry Maguire. Obviously, if he is to be inconsistent this season, then maybe, you know, I won't keep him then. Maybe my perception would change. Last season was Harry Maguire's 1st season at Manchester United. You know, we did get Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So Harry Maguire is the 2nd most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. Harry Maguire was recently given extra time off for his arrest in Greece and his court case in Greece last month. Don't forget, he did get a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days. Solskjaer's already made his decision on Maguire. You know, he will remain Manchester United captain this season. He will. But Maguire's probably the best centre-half we've got anywhere out of the centre-halves we've got. And we've got around 7 centre-halves in the team. Lindelof. I'd keep Lindelof, see how he does this season. Obviously, if we was to sign a centre-half in, then Lindelof then would be used as a backup. But obviously, last season, Lindelof was our first choice centre-half alongside Maguire. There's definitely aspects of Lindelof's game that's got to improve. You know, Lindelof's endured 3 years with Man United. We got him in 2017 from Benfica for £30 million. Eric Bailly. I know he's been subjected to some transfer speculation, but I think he will stay at Man United at least for another season, will Eric Bailly. Obviously, Eric Bailly has endured 4 years with Man United. You know, we got him back in 2016 from Villarreal for £30 million. He was actually the first signing that we made under the Jose Mourinho era. My only element of concern about Eric Bailly is that he is injury prone. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, I'm not so sure about him. I heard that Man United have recently put him up for sale. Maybe it'd be beneficial if we could put Timothy Fosu-Mensah out on loan. Don't forget, Fosu-Mensah was out with injury for a while. Played a few games towards the end of last season. Played in the Crystal Palace game. I think that was his first appearance for the club in like 15 months. I think he also played in the West Ham game, did Timothy Fosu-Mensah. You know, Luke Shaw, yeah, we'll keep him because I think Luke Shaw's enjoyed a very good career at Manchester United. You know, Luke Shaw's enjoyed 6 years at the club. Like I said, we got him from Southampton back in 2014 for £30 million. But he's just injury prone. That's my only element of concern. He sustained an ankle injury towards the end of last season. Definitely keep Brandon Williams. You know, Brandon Williams is our backup left back. You know, last season was his 1st season in the senior squad. Made his senior debut for the club against Rochdale in the Cup and made his first league start against Brighton. But he played a lot of games last season. Juan Mata, I think we will keep him for at least another season. I know Juan Mata doesn't get a lot of opportunities now, but when he does make an impact. I think Juan Mata has enjoyed a fantastic career with Manchester United. He's enjoyed like 6 years with the club. Got him back in 2014 from Chelsea for just under £40 million. So, Daniel James. Well, there was actually no rumours saying that, we could put Daniel James out on loan because he's obviously going to find game time very difficult now. I said especially if we was to sign Jadon Sancho. Obviously, we've got Rashford on the left and Greenwood on the right, so where's Daniel James going to play? He's supposed to be more effective from the left-hand side, but when we played him last season, we mainly put him on that right-hand side. I think Solskjaer overplayed him last season, but we got Daniel James from Swansea last summer for just £15 million. Odion Ighalo, I don't know what we're going to do with him. We know that he's going to be with us until January 2021 because just after lockdown, we extended Odion Ighalo's loan. Ighalo's done well since he's come in. We got him in as a covered-up to when Marcus Rashford was injured. But he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. But we have got a pretty good squad. But you can see that Solskjaer's trying to change the culture of the club, and you can see that he's trying to improve the squad. So far we have made one signing, and that was Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek recently made his debut for the club in that 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa in pre-season. And he's going to be making his Premier League debut on Saturday against Crystal Palace. Really looking forward to seeing him play because I said Donny van de Beek, or Van de Beek, however you pronounce it, will bring a lot to Manchester United. He'll add depth, he'll bring goals to the club. And he'll go well alongside Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. I heard that we're going to put Paul Pogba out of position so we can get Donny van de Beek in there. We'll probably play him as a box-to-box midfielder because that's his predominant position. But before, he has played as a holding midfielder and he's played as an attacking midfielder. But yeah, it was a cheap solution, to be fair. We got Donny van de Beek, in a deal worth £40 million. Paid, was it just over 34 million up front with like 4.4 million in add-ons. We know he's going to be at the club till 2025 because he signed a 5-year contract. And there's also an option of a further year. And, he's obviously wearing the number 34 shirt. But Solskjaer did say, didn't he? He wants to make 3 more signings after Donny van de Beek. But like I always said, didn't I? Solskjaer needs another season at Manchester United because, it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for a while now. I don't know if Solskjaer has a foreseeable future for Man United. This season's definitely going to tell the story. And if things are to go right this season, then more Man United fans will be convinced he's the right manager. And there will be Man United fans saying we need to extend his contract, blah, blah, blah. But if things are to be totally contrast to that and things were to go wrong this season, then I think he will be back under pressure. But I want his managerial tenure to work out. I really, really do. But, Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. We have sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era. Man United are not really known for sacking football club, but we sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. In the entirety of our history so far, we have won 45 trophies. 38 of them trophies came under Sir Alex Ferguson. We've only won 3 trophies since Ferguson left. And that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. And like I've said, we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Ferguson era. So yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.